This is Stephanie with Hightower Stitching. Today I'd like to share with you my progress on my grandmother's garden quilt. Since I started quilting this a month ago, this is the first time that I have looked at what I have done. You won't believe that, but I knew that when there were 28 flowers that had to be done, there wasn't any reason to get excited about looking every time I turned around. So I have just sewn and sewn and sewn. And I took the quilt sandwich, which had the backing, the batting, and the top piece top, started in the center, laid it in the center. But you can see I have worked out that purple is the part that helps to make it possible for me to get all the way to the edge when it's on the rack. And then I just started moving towards the corner and sort of going on. But I actually started in the center, and it started going around and around the flower that was in the center. And this is my place where I do all my quilting. You can see I've got some windows on the side. Now they're on my left-hand side, and it'd really be nice if I turned myself around and have it coming over the light over my right-hand side, but then I couldn't see the TV. So to counter that, I have a lamp that sits on the table that I got at Hancock, and it works really good. It gives me some great light, and I usually even use it during the daytime when it's light like this because of the shadow coming in over the window. And then I have a chair, an office type chair that goes up and down, and that's really nice. And this is the bottom of my quilt rack. I have a round hoop that's 18 inches across, and it swivels, it moves, and that's really been fun to learn how to use that because I like to start in a straight line and go straight. Well, I can actually turn that rack as I'm going, turn that top hoop. All right, and this is the rack that it sits on, the one that I use now, and I have really enjoyed it. I got it several years ago, but you can see that we were able to set. Look at all of the bolts and the wood, and this is solid wood, and you can move the bolts. Well, once you get them set, there's really no need to. And the part that's angled there is angled towards my body when I'm sitting in the chair. And then in the bottom, it's got 3 strong legs that hold it. And then to get the screws and bolts out, there were a couple of pieces, a wooden piece and a metal piece, and if you can see this, I went ahead and I sewed it. No, I didn't. I tied it to the bottom of the chair so I don't have to go and hunt for it because I never could make one that would do like that. Okay, now I've moved back and I'm sitting in my favorite chair, and I've got the quilt in front of me, and that bar is under there. Is actually my feet are sitting on those wooden legs that you saw, and I'm getting to move forward. Now you remember, I am not a traditional stitcher because I never learned that way, and I'm actually very right-handed, but I use my left hand. I use my right hand to push up the thread, the needle, and then I use my left hand to go down. And this will seem very slow to you right now, especially this is the first time I'm starting today. And usually it's a little slow. And then I use it now. This other left-hand needle is going straight down. And you'll say that's awkward, but it's not. And it's like everything else. After you do something for 21 days or 21 times, it gets to be habit. And then I go down. And let me get over here to the corner, and you can see some of the stitching that I've already done on this quilt. Now here's what's neat. When I get here, like I said, I want to do a straight line. Well, I could come straight across here and that'd be straight, but for right now I'm going to turn this hoop, and I have turned it, and guess what? Now I'm ready to start and stitch on across to the next place. And I can actually look ahead and see that when I get down here, it's going to be so easy to jump into this shape and then to go into this one. And when I get to the end of a run on my string, I'm going to tie a knot in it. I'll just do it for you now. I'm just going to run it around just like you do a knot. I'm going to take and put my hand back underneath there so I can tell the needle's not coming through. I'm going to slide the needle between the layers and pull the knot, and the knot stays down in here. Now if I wanted to go, if I wasn't going to stop and I was right here, I could also run my needle down between the layers till I got over here to this little circle that I wanted to do, and I could go all the way around the circle and then run back out here and then keep going down that way. This quilt is so large and the patches are so large that I decided I was going to keep my stitching sort of in that same idea. You can see I don't have all of row after row really close together because I wanted to keep the flavor of the shapes, and so I'll have these lines drawn through some of them. And the outer edge, you can see I just went in and did around the patch, and then I did in the center. And then in the other shape, I just went in and put a simple circle in there. I'm glad I decided to do this. It's probably part 6 of my grandmother's garden. And this was to show you one type of rack that you can use, and also to show you my progress on this. So thank you for watching. Any notes that I have will be added to the description, and I'll put a note in there. Several people ask about the rack, so I'll put information I found in a book on that. If this was helpful or you enjoyed this, please subscribe and hit like. Thank you.